What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Here to enjoy some drums with you guys. I figure Brandy's working tonight, so it's a good time to do it so I don't annoy her too much with my whiskey stuff. Food Quig's here, I know that. Solange Villa, Food Quig. Who else has joined me so far tonight? Say hello in the chat there so I know who you are. Or don't. It's up to you. Hi, Jody. Or I should say hi, John and Jody, because it's probably both of you, if John's not too busy. Nice. Hi, Mom. Yeah, so my mom just picked up a kitty cat yesterday, and she's this beautiful gray, smoky color. So they decided to call her Sky Tally, because Talisker Storm and is one of my mom's favorite whiskeys, and Sky was probably one of their favorite stops the last time they were in Scotland. So welcome, Tally, to your first YouTube Live. What's everybody drinking tonight? So today I went out to Shelter Point Distillery to drop off a little whiskey kit for my friend Leon, who I'm not sure if he's on here yet or not, but he's supposed to be joining us. And while I was there, I couldn't help but resist and pick up a bottle of their artisanal single malt, bottled at 46% ABV, and that's what I'm enjoying right now. Now, the interesting thing is, I don't know if it's just been a while since I've had it or if this is a different batch or what, but I'm getting some really interesting notes on this one. It's got that sort of classic Shelter Point malty sweetness to it, but there's more to it now. It's like, and maybe this is just because it's getting aged a bit more or or what, but I'm getting like banana and then the further I went into it, I got like tropical fruit notes on it, not just on the nose, but on the palate as well. So I'm not really sure what that's all about. I don't think I've ever gotten those notes from a Shelter Point whiskey before, and it's fantastic. Now, this particular bottle, and again, it's been a while since I've had one of these single malts. I killed mine a little while ago, so this is why I wanted to pick up another one. This one says Distiller's Select on it. So if Leon, if you're on here, let me know what that's all about and whether that's a thing or if that's just sort of another marketing thing you wanted to throw on there. Give me 1 second, you guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Somebody let the dog out and didn't let her in. So that's what I'm enjoying. First off, I poured myself a dram of this when I was making dinner and barbecue burgers. Oh, yeah, it went really well. Caribou Crossing, nice. I don't think I've had that one yet, but I've heard about it. Mr. Gran. Who let the dogs out? I think it was Kenzie. I can see her sticking her tongue out at me from her bedroom door. So I don't have any like mystery drams or anything tonight, but I do have some well, I don't know about theme, but I have some whiskeys towards the end that are kind of, I don't know, they inspired me. So I wanted to enjoy a dram or two with you guys tonight. But I'm really enjoying this Shelter Point one. I'm wondering if it's just how it's starting to get a little bit more age now or something. I don't know. But it's beautiful. For those of you who don't know, they have been making whiskey at Shelter Point as well. And not just sanitizer. And they have a huge warehouse full of whiskey. It's just sitting there maturing, doing its thing. And so there's some pretty exciting things coming very soon from Shelter Point. I think the first one will probably be this kind of, hey, Whiskey Web, what's up? Kind of I don't know if I want to say forbidden fruit, but a malted, 100% malted wheat whiskey. We were just talking about you, Leon. Yes, Loch Lomond, the Open Special Edition. That's a lovely, lovely whiskey. And the 12-year-old, comparing them. Nice. I don't think I have any Loch Lomond's right now. Super. Armed with Lucky. Yeah, of course you are. I don't have any beer. I'm drinking the single malt that I picked up at the shop today when I was there. Ooh, Twisted Tattoo. It's like you read my mind. That's coming a little bit later. Yeah, I actually went to my boss's for dinner last night because he gave us sort of for May, he gave us a goal for us to try and hit. And if we hit that goal hours wise, then said he was going to invite us all over for a steak dinner. And so we were, challenge accepted, of course. And so, so we got this invite over to his place for steak dinner, and him and his wife, Summer, made an amazing steak dinner with beautiful vegetables and potatoes and salad. It was wonderful, and they were great hosts, and it was lovely. So I don't like going over to someone's house empty-handed. So, and I knew there was a few guys at my work that are kind of curious about this whole whiskey thing that I'm doing. And a few that knew they liked Highland Park. They've had a couple of really nice Highland Parks. In fact, I even shared a Highland Park 18 with them not too long ago. So I decided to bring over the Highland Park Twisted Tattoo, which is a Highland Park 16-year-old finished in a Spanish wine cask. And it went over really well. It's extremely easy drinking, beautiful, sweet, and smoky dram. Unfortunately, with Whiskey Web, that's not how it works in the automotive industry. It's all about pumping out the hours, if you will. So, in a flat rate world. So yeah, we've been, since I came back to work after being laid off. I came back to work just at the beginning of May. I was laid off for about a month and a half. Hit the ground running. There was no easing into it or anything. Like the last 2 months have just been, running shoes. So it wears you down. You're tired at the end of the day, but it feels good to be busy and earning a good paycheck and contributing. I really did like being off work, though. That was really nice. Like, I quite enjoyed being at home, and even like all that came with it, cooking, cleaning, that kind of stuff, projects around the house. I loved it. So at least I know when I do get to that point someday down the road, if I can't work anymore or just want to retire, then I know that that is something to look forward to and I'm going to enjoy. But not for now. And now, for now, I just got whiskey to get me through. Early retirement? I don't know about that, but gonna try to enjoy life in the meantime. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Foodquig. I think there's a lot of people, especially that like ones that are sort of close to it. This last few months has made them really realize and think about retirement and look forward to it. And I can't blame them. Like Mr. Cran, my other half of the Blue Collar and Scholar, he's going to be retiring very soon, and he's pretty excited about it. And I think we all are excited for him as well. 9 years to go. Nice, single digits. Congratulations to that. So, Leon, I'm not sure if you were on. Nice. Yeah, I remember watching some of your videos early pandemic, and it sounded pretty grim, but you kept showing up, so that's good. I had no choice. There was no customers. There was no work, so I got laid off. But not anymore. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm too stupid to work the system. Someone needs to give me a how to work the system for dummies book. Leon, I think it was before you maybe tuned in, I told him about the single malt that I'm enjoying from Shelter Point today. And I don't know, like I said, it's been a while since I've had one, so I don't know if this is on all of the bottles or not, but what does the Distiller's Select mean? Is that a thing? Is that something different? Is that, have I stumbled on some gem here, or? Because I'm getting different notes on this one from what I remember from the artisanal single malt, and it's a lot of like tropical fruit notes and stuff like that, and banana, and there's that beautiful malty sweetness there as well. You chose it especially for me. Wow, that's awesome. Well, I'm gonna go back and buy more then if it's for me. Excuse me. But yeah, anything different for this one, or is it just getting a little more age, maybe? Or it's lovely. I quite enjoy it. I think it's my favorite of the like artisanal single malts that I've had. from Shelter Point. Well, anyway, kudos. It's delicious. And it's gone. So now I'm going to pour myself a green bottle. And I think maybe a longer marrying period. Cool. I think I've had this one on a live cast before. And for my SMWS bottles, I tend to kind of nurse them a little bit because I can't afford to buy too many of them and quite enjoy them. But I'm going to go back to 12.18, whatever floats your boat, which is a beautiful cask strength single cask Benriach. And if any of you have one and want to drink along with me, I would happily do that. Cask strength, 8-year-old Benriach. It's been a while since I've had this one. Kevin, welcome. Yes, Jody, I went to Shelter Point. Apparently, I need to be posting or telling everybody when I do things like go to Shelter Point, because then afterwards, when people find out, they get all bent out of shape because I didn't tell them ahead of time. Oh, nice. Is today World Gin Day? I had no idea. We bought one of those while we were there too. Shelter Point Gin. Lovely gin. Super good. You haven't opened your Benriach. Okay, well, open your bottles. It's not like I can come over and drink them for you guys, though. That's the problem. You had the 12 and the 18 that I sent you? I don't know if I sent you 12 and 18 of anything. You need a couple cases from Shelter Point. Oh, well, I'd be happy to go out there again for you guys. Yeah, SMWS gin. That's got to be good. What distillery is it from? Excuse me. Yeah, I've been all over the place. I'm not. I'm guilty of not practicing isolation, but yeah, we'll leave it at that. I don't want to get into it. I'm tired of into it. Well, Jody, we will talk for sure because, yeah, we got to get you stocked back up again. So this Benriach, oh, it's gorgeous. The bottle says 2 drams in 1. Lively with plenty of ginger, spice, neat, whereas diluted, it's thick and sweet like creme anglaise and brioche à tête. And I don't know what the hell that is, but I quite like it. And there's definitely ginger in there. There's definitely a spiciness. It's right at the front of the palate when you first bring it aboard. Yeah, SMWS seems to be broadening their horizons for sure. And you're right. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but maybe it's an indication of how things are going on the distillery front. When things are good for the distilleries, it maybe it's harder for independents. And vice versa, when distilleries are having a hard time selling their own product, maybe that's a prime time for independents to get in on some good casks and stuff like that. So kind of like what we were talking about today, Leon. Yeah, mezcal is good. I've also heard a rumor that SMWS might be coming out with a Canadian whiskey. Maybe. Don't know which distillery, but who knows? Well, that might not be too far along, Kevin. We'll see. It's all hush hush at this point, I think. Maybe not that hush hush if I know or have an inkling of it. Yeah. So maybe it's not that hush hush. Right? That would be cool. That would be very cool. In fact, I think I got bumped by them. But I mean, if you're going to be bumped by somebody, then it might as well be SMWS. So. Mm-hmm. So, anybody else want to jump in there and tell me what they're drinking tonight? I love hearing about what other people are dramming. I can't rub shoulders with you at the bar, but we can do a virtual elbow bump. Just a tattoo. Greg, were you like cheering like just a tattoo? X-Dram, nice. Nice. Local gin. That's cool. There's actually a challenge going around to whiskey YouTubers where you're supposed to sort of feature 3 local distilleries in your area and then sort of challenge 3 other YouTube channels to do the same to help support craft distilleries and local distilleries. And I haven't been challenged yet, but I hope I do because that'd be a lot of fun. And I think it's a great idea. World No Gin Day. That's every other day but today, I guess, in my opinion. Yeah, for sure. I think if I had to like pick just sort of quickly what distilleries I would choose, maybe Shelter Point, I guess. And then probably Divine because I've met them, been to their distillery, and I got nothing but good things to say about them. They're awesome people, and I really like what they're doing. So I'd probably feature Divine. And maybe Graham McAloney at Caledonia. Because he deserves it, I guess. 40 Creek Copper Pot. Oh my goodness. My father-in-law would love you. He loves his 40 Creek. And that's actually a really good whiskey. I like the Copper Pot too. It's pretty good. Sorry, the challenge is so whiskey blogger or YouTuber will feature 3 whiskeys from local distilleries or somewhat local distilleries. The one I just watched today was a fellow in England, so he featured a couple of British distilleries and stuff like that. And then after you feature those 3 distilleries, you're supposed to nominate 3 other YouTubers to do the same. So it's just supposed to sort of like kind of go from there and expand, if you will. But the thing is, if somebody in your area features those distilleries before you do, then you have to find 3 more, which isn't a difficult thing to do in BC because there's quite a few distilleries pumping out whiskey or whiskey-esque spirits now. I love Stillhead. I would just like to see more whiskey, and I'm hoping that's coming. And same thing with Sheringham. I haven't had their single malt because it's incredibly hard to get, but I've heard good things. And it's not that I'm a single malt snob. It's just what I prefer. That's what I sort of what we do here at Whiskey Taste Buds or Blue Collar and Scholar. So I'd be willing to try other types of whiskeys. I'm not a huge fan of bourbon. There are some bourbons I like. I'm not a huge fan of rye. There are some ryes I like, etc., etc., etc. Arbutus. Yeah, the only time I've ever tried Arbutus, extremely young and rough around the edges. But it had some promise. It's really hard to start out a whiskey distillery. I imagine, like, just putting that stuff away and sitting on it. But I look forward to seeing, what comes of it. The problem is a lot of them are such small. There's a lot of issues when you're talking about craft distilleries. Small batches. So even if they do happen to turn out an amazing product, it's going to be next to impossible to get because it's going to be gone like that. And then also like resources as far as warehousing for storage and size of casks as far as their output and what they can produce. It all affects the quality of the spirit and quality of the whiskey and the outturn. Like there's a lot of craft distilleries that pump out whiskeys that are amazing. They show a lot of promise and everything, but they're just slightly overexposed to oak just to get it to that 3-year mark because they're using quarter casks or whatever. So Lone McKinnon's pretty good. I don't know if you'd call them a craft distillery anymore. I don't think they are, but I haven't hated their stuff. I had their peated whiskey. It was not bad. Let's see, that's what it's about. Like I think if a distillery is going to really buy into doing a single malt whiskey, you gotta commit, I think, and just like pump out some spirit to fill some real casks and just let them be. And that's tough for a lot of these guys because they just surely can't put out the volume. And like I said, even if they turn out something fantastic, how can they keep up with the demand? And that is incredibly tough. I don't think a lot of people realize what it takes for a distillery like Shelter Point, for example, to get to where they are, and they have issues keeping up with demand. So it's tough. I think this COVID thing might. I don't know. It's going to see what happens, I guess, but. Another one that I would probably throw in there is Eau Claire is good, yeah. But also Okanagan spirits, I think. We'd have to include them, I think, probably. I also like a lot one of the fellows at Okanagan Spirits. He's doing a lot for advocating to change the liquor laws in BC and stuff like that. So you got to stand behind that for sure. Yes, I have tried Odd Society single malt. I think I might even. Yep, we've got some here. Commodore. It's a great whiskey. And I know I am understanding they've come out recently. They come out with another single malt whiskey that I would love to try, get my hands on. And I know that they are now starting to fill full size casks. And so I would love to three or more years from now, I'd love to see what that is, because like again, like their spirit, their baseline spirit, new make. I don't know if I've ever tried their new make, but you can tell quality of a spirit. I can tell this is a quality spirit. He really knows what he's doing. But again, because it's been finished in those, or it's been matured in those half casks or quarter casks, to me, it's just like a little heavy on the oak. It's like a little overexposed to the wood. So yeah, that's definitely one that people should try. They make a beautiful maple whiskey, and it's not like a maple flavoring added to it. It's actually quite innovative how they do it. And it's very good, but hard to get. It's just sells out so fast. Yeah. Maple one's good, but it's almost, I don't know. It's like a whiskey liqueur almost. So now I'm going to have the Twisted Tattoo from Orkney. This is a great whiskey. In my opinion, it's one of those whiskeys where someone's curious about single malt, or maybe they've had some whiskeys and they're sort of getting a little more curious about it. I'd recommend this one because it's got that beautiful balance of sweetness and smoke, not over the top smoke. It's just that beautiful Highland Park kind of heathery smokiness on the finish. It's wonderful. Yes, Kevin, that's how they get a lot of their flavors. They'll basically soak the whiskey in, or soak gin baskets, or like essentially a big tea bag, and flavor the whiskey with stuff like maple. So it's interesting. What is the best ever Canadian whiskey you have tried? It doesn't have to be Shelter Point. Oh, that's tough. I mean, I shouldn't say that's tough. It is a Shelter Point whiskey by far, in my opinion. To be honest, I'm really not a huge fan of a lot of Canadian whiskeys. I really like what some craft distilleries are doing. But no, I don't think anybody is holding a candle to what you guys are doing there. So it'd have to be a Shelter Point whiskey for me. But of course, I'm not being treated the way some people are by some of the big whiskey companies in Canada. So, and that might be somewhat biased too, because I think out of all the Canadian whiskey companies, Shelter Point's probably treated me the best. So maybe I don't count. I've been accused or mistaken as one of their employees many times. But what Shelter Point whiskey? I would say they're the double barrel that was finished in blackberry wine casks. Was probably one of my favorite Canadian whiskeys ever. But there's so many. I like everything that you guys put out. So I have not had the Canadian Club 40 or the Wiser's 35, but I would be willing to try that. I also kind of like that little experiment that we did in the warehouse, Leon, with some smoke point and mixed with a little bit of virgin oak. That was really good too. Yes, I know you guys have them, Jody, but whenever I'm over at your guys' place, it's like a kid in a candy store. I got to be selective because I can't possibly sit there and try them all in one sitting. So I always go for the stuff that I know that I'm going to really enjoy or really suspect that I might enjoy. So I just haven't got to those ones yet. Yeah. Something about Highland Park. They make good whiskey. It's delicious. There you go, Greg. Whiskeyology news. Oh, Lydia, I must hear more about this. That sounds good. 21 bottles we had tried the night before. Yeah, it happens. Oh, gosh, pretty damn close. I remember thinking the first time I saw Auchentoshan and how it was spelt, I remember thinking maybe it was a German whiskey. Or like a German concentration camp or something. I don't know. But that's Gallic for you. Nice. Yeah, those need to get opened, Food Quig, for sure. So yeah, for those who've missed it, I'm on to the Highland Park 16 Twisted Tattoo. It's a fantastic dram for a reasonable price. I think it's about just under $125 at the Strath. Maybe even cheaper if you can find it in a government store. Now, these Canadian Club whiskeys, what are they? Is it corn with a little bit of rye? Is that what we're talking about here? Canadian corn whiskey with rye added? Yeah, that blows my mind. I don't know what's all about. 100% corn, no rye added to it whatsoever. But what do they call it? Rye whiskey? Because in Canada, I think you can do that. Oh, sherry. Okay. Like actual sherry added to the whiskey in the 909 rule. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can't knock it till I try it because if it's good, it's good. But I don't know. Interesting. $11 to 1. Well, like I said, if it makes it better, who can argue with that? Why get stuck in your ways and be a snob about things? But I would have to consider myself somewhat of a skeptic in that regards. until I can until someone can change my mind. I don't know. I think taking a single malt or taking a whiskey and adding some other spirit to it for a flavoring or coloring or something. I don't know about that. Like Andrew from Banff Whiskey Experience was just on with, I can't remember his name now, the fellow from Bareface last night. And they were talking about the mezcal that's been added to it. And again, like, I don't know. I just don't know if I agree with it. But I guess if it's good, it's good. It's still not like it's adding sugar or syrup or something like that. But it should be banned. The only rye involved is the rye that was originally in the ex-rye barrels that the whiskey was resting in for 40 years. No, that's... I don't know about that, because were those ex-rye barrels 100% rye, or was it corn whiskey with a little bit of rye? Cool. Like I said, try and keep an open mind. Like I said, if it's good and people like it and buy it and drink it, then you can't really argue with it, I guess. But 100% ex-rye barrels, okay, that's cool. I can dig it, but still, that's just a barrel. I like how there's like not as many rules here in Canada, but I think some people maybe exploit that a little too much, if you know what I mean. I think there's a happy medium from the strict rules in Scotland and maybe the free-for-all that is Canada. And I think the lack of rules in Canada has probably maybe hurt the Canadian whiskey industry in the long run, because people really don't, like, it's just a free-for-all. People really don't know. When you say Canadian whiskey, they don't know what that is. What is that? That's nothing. So I think there's a happy medium. I think Canada maybe needs to sit down and do something, figure something out. Yeah, Japan too. Same thing. I don't know what the hell. I think they're just riding a wave when it comes to the price of their whiskeys. But that the bottom's going to drop out of that wave. Yeah. So, it's not just Japan. It happens in other countries too. By whiskeys that's not even made in that country. So, we'll see. See if we can get our shit together. It'd be cool. Maybe BC should be like the ground zero for the movement. I think there's quite a culture growing here in BC, and that's how it starts. We'll see. All right. Well, It probably is 100% Canadian corn whiskey. In fact, a lot of the corn made, like a lot of the whiskey in Canada made from corn, I'm not even sure if the corn is grown in Canada or if they buy it from the States. Yeah, well, that's the problem, right? When it comes to the whiskey industry and producers is it's what you can get out of it now or what you can get out of it long term. And I think not just in the whiskey industry, but I think in industry in general, most people that are running these businesses are not looking too far into the future. Like we were just talking about retirement not long ago. And I think that's the case for a lot of CEOs and owners. They don't look, nobody cares about the long term anymore. Everybody's just cares about themselves and their family and like working towards that end game, whatever that means. But I think that might be kind of part of the problem. %, agree, Whiskey Web. 100% agree. Good call. I don't know. I don't think the feed corn would be used in a whiskey. But it all depends, I guess, on what they're trying to get out of it. Peaches and cream, yeah. Time for that third dram. Oh, man. I'm past you then. I'm on the fourth. I'm gonna stay on Orkney though this time. I'm gonna go back to my 4.242, just because like I said, I don't drink my SMWS whiskeys very often. I thought tonight might be a good night to do it. So 4.242 is a Highland Park 13-year-old called Coastal Landscape with Smoke. And it is a wonderful dram. I absolutely love all SMWS Highland Park expressions. They're all great. You're right. It is not a race. It's a marathon, but I really feel like a lot of people calling the shots in any industry these days aren't seeing it that way. They just want to set themselves up to be comfortable for the rest of their lives and not give a shit about anybody else. So they're willing to sacrifice quality to make a buck quickly. Nobody cares about leaving legacies anymore or anything like that. I shouldn't say nobody. I'm sure there are some out there that do, but I 100% agree with you, Whiskey Web. I feel like people are choosing quantity over quality these days, and it's sad. Ooh, 11 souls. That sounds enticing. True story. That one packs a punch. I've misfired a few times tonight. I'm not sure what's up with that. But, hello. Yeah. That one is amazingly smoky. You would never guess that's a Highland Park if it was a blind tasting. Big vanilla and smoke. Ash. Bog. Peat bog burning. And then like on the end is like that beautiful toasted marshmallow sweetness. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, we do have the power for change, and that's why I say maybe we can start a movement here in BC. Oh yeah. This is like knee deep peat bog. So disappointing when you drive off the ferry into Wasson and you drive past that garbage dump. That was just this beautiful Burns. It's called Burns Bog, and it's just a giant peat bog near Richmond there. And now it just smells like garbage. I'm sure, like, obviously you didn't smell burning peat unless it was on fire, which it was for many years, because it's pretty hard to put out a peat bog fire. It burns underground, but nothing like a smell of hot whipped garbage on a sunny summer afternoon. He broke a whiskey bottle, but it was empty. Well, Mazel tov, I guess. I don't know. But you like to save... No, you don't save your bottles. You save the corks, right? What whiskey bottle was it anyway? Not sure what that was. Maybe a little bit of dinner stuck in my beard for later. Yeah, it's sad. Spice Tree Compass Box. Oh my gosh, good thing it was empty. Well, here's to breaking empty whiskey bottles. Yeah, some of us are probably pretty embarrassed to take all our whiskey bottles back to the depot. But nowadays with COVID, I think it's probably pretty considered pretty normal. Disaster. Yeah, you have your spill kit at the ready. Hazmat. Get some pylons, put it around there. Somehow extract the juice from the earth and the glass. I can see it. It could work. You could do that. Really, Lydia? Like, where's the closest bottle depot to you guys in Oyster River there? Because I really don't think like you guys are the only heavy drinkers in Oyster River. Yeah, I think we need to invest in some giant billboards at the ferry terminals on the mainland, just saying no vacancy, turn around, go back. Jody, that is classic you. I can totally see you doing that. Do you want these bottles? I love it. Oh, that's funny. Well, and I've probably told you this before, but I know that my daughter collects bottles for fundraising for her Sea Cadets. So whenever you feel like you got too many, let me know and I'll come get them. Problem solved. And it's a good excuse to come and see you guys standing at your doorway. We have too many. Okay. Well, I'll come and get them. I've got something for you guys I forgot to give you the other night, last night anyway. So I'll come get your bottles. Maybe even tomorrow. Yeah, Greg makes it a social occasion. He's growing the whiskey fabric in Lund on the Sunshine Coast. Lund is a pretty interesting, eccentric place. The recycling guy that collects all the recycling, he sits there and he's like a world traveled musician, and and he sits there in his little trailer, collecting recycling for the community. And then every once in a while, it was like before COVID anyway, he would go on tour and travel the world playing as a musician. That's what Lund's all about. It's just full of people like that. It's incredible. Yes. Good question. I think you're probably onto something, Mom. We could get two 35-year-olds. Or maybe even like 4 even younger whiskeys. Ooh, Cobb House with Ardbeg windows. It's probably already there. Just check out the real estate website. I'm sure there's one on there for sale. Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of people went to bottled water. That's rough. But I mean, you guys got pretty good tap water down there in Victoria too. I mean, we do here too, but there's a little bit more minerals up here. But that's funny. Most people just recycle them or throw them away. That's funny. Yeah. Full of dead deer. That just goes. That's organic. That's just all part of it. Unless you have like heaps of dead deer on your property, which then I'm concerned. But if you I'm going back to Greg's 70th. Is the bear dead now? No. Are you still planning on doing a Zoom call for his birthday? And can we include some of these fine people? Hey, there you go, Quig. We could all send you samples of our water, and you could do a little water review. It's not a bad idea. I mean, it's a pretty important ingredient that's often overlooked. Dead human voice. Oh, that's disturbing. Is that just like to save on paperwork, like ex-employees, or like a body dump from somebody in Campbell River or something? Wow, add a couple drams and how quickly we digress. Black card for Liddy. Oh, yes, the UBC Experimental Farms. Hey, you know what? There's a good plot there. We could write a screenplay or a film based on the Shelter Point farm there. That'd be good. Like a kind of like a CSI crime drama cold case thing. Why does this water taste so good? Well, funny story. Clarice. I like it. Anyways, we're into just over an hour here now. And my hot tub's calling me. And I won't be able to move tomorrow if I don't go in my hot tub, at least for a little while. And I've got some whiskey friends or a whiskey friend coming to visit tomorrow. So to do some squats in my gym garage and maybe some drams. So maybe I'll record that. It'll be fun. Bog bodies, yeah. That's a great place to body dump for sure. Squats, yeah. I think that's going to cure my sore back. Do some heavy squats, get some weight on my shoulders. Okay. Thanks for joining me, you guys. And stay tuned. I just finished packaging up all the dramples for the next whiskey club tasting. I'm super excited about it. And if you missed out, fear not. We're going to be traveling somewhere else to another whiskey region of Scotland for the end of July. So stay tuned for dates on that one. And till next time, cheers. I'll try and do one of these live ones a little more often. It's just been pretty crazy around here, but yeah, no, I haven't been doing a lot of lifting and training, but I got to get my ass in gear if I'm expected to lift some heavy stones in September to impress a crowd in Banff. As at this point, we're still holding out that Banff is a go, but it may not be at the same place. I was talking to Andrew today, the organizer. The Banff Center that it's been held at in the last couple of years may actually be going out of business, like closing its doors, unfortunately, which is pretty sad. It's a long time running center for performing arts and stuff like that. Since the 30s, I think, 1930s, 1933. And they might be closing their doors, which is pretty sad. But the venue might get moved. There's a possibility, this is just rumors and hearsay at this point, the venue might get moved to the Banff Springs Hotel, which is pretty exciting because it's like this sort of like stone medieval castle in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. And it's beautiful. And it's pretty exciting. So if that happens, that's going to be pretty awesome. And my master's class is going to be, if it happens, going to be paired with me doing some Scottish traditional stone lifting feats of strength. So I better get my shit together so that I don't fail in front of a live studio audience, so to speak. Anyway, stay tuned for more of that as well. Love you guys and stay safe. And thanks for tuning in. Slàinte mhath.